What's up, guys? It's Dan from Coin Bureau Trading. Today, we're going to take a look at why the crypto market could be about to recover. If this is the kind of content that you enjoy, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ping that notification bell. Before we get started, to keep in mind that nothing in this video is financial advice. It's just my personal analysis of the crypto market. Your analysis can be different, and if it is, that's awesome, because the more difference of opinion that we have, the better traders and the better investors we're all going to become. So I'll start off, guys, by highlighting the pattern that you can see now in Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Sui. Basically, almost every single cryptocurrency is painting an inverse head and shoulders pattern, which of course is a bullish pattern. It basically signals that we've hit a bottom and that we're about to get a reversal. So looking here at Bitcoin, guys, we're looking at Bitcoin on the 4-hour. You can see quite clearly that we have this inverse head and shoulders pattern playing out here. It's basically been in place since October 10th. So since that's a huge liquidation, and if we do see Bitcoin get above the Bollinger Band moving average on the 4-hour here, which seems to be likely, then of course the next target would once again be the Bollinger Band moving average on the daily, somewhere around 114,000. And I believe this is a target that Aaron is watching as well. So it's nice to see that confluence there. Anyways, moving on to Ethereum, same thing. Starting on the 4-hour, we can very clearly see a nice inverse head and shoulders pattern here playing out as well. Also, that's basically been forming since October 10th. Zooming out to the daily suggests that, okay, Ethereum's probably going to be rallying up here in the next couple of days, somewhere to around 4,100, assuming that this is a bottoming pattern, which I really do think that it is. Moving on to Solana, same idea, inverse head and shoulders, very clearly seen here on the 4-hour, also started around October 10th with that huge liquidation. And then we zoom out to the daily here and we can see next target to watch for Solana. It's probably going to rally up to around $200 here in the coming days, assuming that this is a bottoming pattern, which again, it does look, especially when you zoom into the 4-hour, this really does look like a bottoming pattern here. And then of course, last but not least, Sui, same idea on the 4-hour. Sui is looking pretty weak, but again, on the 4-hour, it looks like it's going to get a nice recovery here with this inverse head and shoulders. Zooming out to the daily, you can see that the Bollinger Band moving average on the daily is somewhere around around $2.8, $2.9. So don't be surprised to see Sui rally up to that level in the coming days. And if you guys do believe that the crypto market is about to recover and you're looking to trade it, then do check out the link in the description. Just click that more button here, and you'll see the first deal here, BitGet up to 50,000 USDT deposit bonus. Click on that link. It'll take you to a page that looks like this. You guys can see that Coin Bureau does have a partnership with BitGet, but on a personal note, I do think that BitGet is an option exchange. That does not mean you should be keeping all your crypto on an exchange. You should always be keeping it in your personal wallet. But with that being said, BitGet has awesome spot markets, futures. I think they have tokenized stocks. They have on-chain trading, trading bots, a whole bunch of stuff that will help you out in your trading journey. So do check it out. Sign up. It doesn't hurt to give it a shot. Of course, you do have to do quite a few things to get that full 50,000 reward. But just sign up, see if it's an exchange that's right for you, and who knows, maybe you'll find yourself earning some of these rewards along the way. Anyways, guys, moving on now to Bitcoin dominance. This is where things get really interesting. Maybe I'll take off the Bollingers just to make things a little bit clearer here. So of course, I know a lot of people are saying that Bitcoin dominance is going to start rising here. It's going to have some massive explosion higher. But again, I just simply don't see it. I think this is very clearly a rising wedge pattern here, ascending wedge, whatever you want to call it, which is a bearish pattern, which suggests that Bitcoin dominance is going to roll over. What's interesting is it's very similar to this pattern that we saw basically going into the summer, I guess from the spring into the summer. And what's interesting is that there was almost like a double fake out breakout here, you could say, in late June. You could see that it looked like Bitcoin dominance was about to get a huge spike. Then it fell back down, looked like it was going to get a huge spike again, and then it fell back down, and then it completely collapsed with that wedge finally breaking down, ascending wedge, ascending channel, whatever you want to call it. And it's possible that we could see something similar here, where once again, maybe Bitcoin dominance does spring back up to around 61%, and then it gets, that continuation lower. And if we zoom out here to the weekly, guys, it's pretty clear to tell, especially when you throw on the Bollinger Bands. You can see that the Bollinger Band moving average on the weekly is somewhere around 61%. That's also a key resistance level, somewhere around 61%. So it wouldn't be surprising to see, Bitcoin dominance maybe gets a little bit of a rise up here to 61%, then it gets a rejection, and then in the coming weeks, it starts to fall. And of course, that would correspond to an altcoin season. And as I've been pointing out to you guys before, what's really fascinating is that Bitcoin, historically, it actually tops when Bitcoin dominance has started falling. Typically when it falls to this, you could say like key support level, which in this case is somewhere around 55%. So if we were to see Bitcoin dominance start falling, when you see Bitcoin dominance has fallen to around 55%, if Bitcoin is somewhere around, 130, 140, 150, 160, pick your, cycle top target. But if Bitcoin is somewhere in that range, that 140 to 160K range, and Bitcoin dominance is somewhere around 55%. History suggests that that's probably the top. So do keep that in mind as a target here going forward when it comes to Bitcoin dominance. But with all that being said, guys, there is one thing I do need to kind of raise caution about. It's part of why yesterday was so choppy and volatile, and that's basically the US dollar, which, I've been saying now for weeks, most important chart to watch. When the DXY goes up, which measures the US dollar, when the DXY goes up, everything else goes down. When the DXY goes down, everything else goes up. And of course, there was a lot of volatility in the DXY yesterday. I do think the DXY is going to get a rollover here soon. That's simply because if we look historically, guys, and in this case, I just pulled it up just to make it clear. If we look historically at the 2018, 2019 shutdown, you can see that the US dollar dropped sharply after that shutdown ended. And if we look at the 2013 shutdown, you can see the same thing. After that shutdown ended, the DXY got a huge drop. And of course, there's reports that the shutdown could be ending here in the coming days. So as soon as that shutdown ends, you're going to see a huge drop in the DXY. And of course, that would be bullish for the markets. The other thing to keep in mind, though, is it's not just the government shutdown. We also have a CPI report coming out tomorrow, which, hopefully is going to come in lower than expected. If it does, of course, it's going to result in, expectations of more Fed easing, and that would cause also the DXY to fall. Last but not least, we have the Fed themselves, which they're going to have a meeting next Wednesday on October 29th. And of course, Jerome Powell has already been hinting that they're going to be backing away from QT. So we could see some bullishness, some dovishness there, which of course would take the DXY lower and would take the markets higher. So long-winded way of saying is that in the next 6 days or so, roughly speaking, we should get a recovery in crypto. Here on the shorter term charts, whether it's the daily and especially on the 4-hour, it does look like crypto has bottomed. Of course, it is going to take a few days for crypto to really fully recover. And assuming we get, the government shutdown ending, assuming we get a lower than expected CPI tomorrow, which, would be nice, and assuming we get a more dovish Fed next week, which seems very likely, then all these factors together, or one of them at least, should be enough to kind of take the crypto market out of this recent slump and a continuation higher, and hopefully end October in the green, as everyone's been expecting. It would be really funny if October ends up being Uptober. You know how like in September was looking good right until the last week. It would be really funny if we see something similar here where, basically October was looking horrible until the last week, and then you get that seasonal trend just coming in all at once in the last, whatever it is, 6 days, 7 days. Anyways, guys, if you did make it this far and you did find that information helpful, then be sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, ping that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.